On one occasion, Jesus was asleep in a fishing boat with his friends and disciples because he had been working and he was tired. He fell asleep in the boat as a storm approached, and it got worse and worse, and the disciples were afraid. They woke him up. The boat was rocking in the waves, but he was sound asleep, and they woke him up. And he looked around, not concerned, and he said, "Be still." And the storm calmed down. Obama does that, except his storm is a fabrication. It's a phony storm. It's a phony crisis. It's a phony riot. It's a phony protest. And he strides upon the scene like the Messiah and says to this crisis, this protest, this angry protest, "Be still." He speaks with authority. And the protest dies down to a murmur, and then they're still, they're quiet. The victim of this protest, usually banks, quite often banks, I said B-A-N-K-S, banks, such as, for example, in financial companies that are very similar to banks. AIG comes to mind. You can look for a phony storm around AIG, and you can look for the appearance of the Black Messiah striding confidently into the center of the stage, where he says with authority to the storm, "Be still." And the people at AIG and the onlookers, the crowds that are looking on, who are fearful of the storm, they will be amazed at the awesome power of the Black Messiah, the Antichrist, the phony Christ, the cardboard cutout of Jesus with big ears. I assure you that the storm that will erupt, even worse, around AIG is a fabrication. In reality, nobody cares how much money Michael Jordan, for example, is paid. And if the managers, whiz kids at AIG narrowly failed to avert a meltdown in the banking system, even though they were brilliant and well trained, and they failed, they were still entitled to their bonuses.